all my friends to wear red to my wedding? My cousin told everyone she was wearing red because it meant she slept with my fiancé. Let me explain how we got here. 6 years ago, my cousin Samantha met this guy at a college bar. They hooked up that night. He left the next morning and never texted her back. She was hurt, but she moved on. 2 years later, I started working at a marketing firm downtown. On my third day, this guy held the elevator for me. We started talking. His name was Noah. We went to lunch that week, then dinner the next week. 3 months later, we were officially dating. I was completely in love with him. That Christmas, I brought him to family dinner. The second Samantha saw him, her face went white. She pulled me into the bathroom and said, "Do you know who that is?" I had no idea what she meant. She told me they hooked up years ago and that I was disgusting for dating her leftovers. I confronted Noah that night. He barely remembered her. It was one random hookup from years before we met. He didn't even know her last name, but the damage was done. Samantha told everyone in the family. My aunt started looking at me weird. My uncle made uncomfortable jokes. My mom said I should break up with Noah to keep peace. I told her I wasn't throwing away my relationship because Samantha couldn't handle rejection from 4 years ago. Samantha and I used to be close. We grew up together. After this, we barely spoke. She'd make comments at family events about how some people have no boundaries. My grandmother tried to get us to make up, but Samantha refused. She said, "I chose a man over family." Fast forward 3 years. Noah proposed. I was over the moon. But when Samantha found out about the engagement, she started her campaign. She posted on Facebook about wearing red to my wedding. Red means you slept with the groom. It's an old tradition that some people still follow. At first I thought she was joking, but she kept posting about her dress, about how truth deserves to be seen, about how some brides get what's coming to them. I called her and begged her not to do this. She said the whole family should know what kind of man I'm marrying. I told her that everyone already knew and nobody cared except her. She hung up on me. I went to my mom and said, "I'm not inviting Samantha." My mom panicked. She said Samantha's mom is her sister, and if I uninvite Samantha, the entire family will split down the middle. There would be a war. People would have to choose sides. It would ruin relationships for years. I felt trapped. I couldn't uninvite her without destroying my family, but I also couldn't let her stand there in red while everyone whispered and gossiped. That's when I came up with the plan. I called my maid of honor, Amanda. I explained the situation. She said, "That's genius. Do it." So I secretly reached out to my bridesmaids, my 3 sisters, and my 12 closest friends. I asked them all to wear red to my wedding. Different shades: burgundy, crimson, scarlet, wine, cherry. I told them to keep it completely secret, not to post about it, not to mention it to anyone, not even their parents. I said, if Samantha finds out, she'll come up with something worse. My friends were incredible. They all agreed immediately. Some of them bought new dresses. Some of them dyed dresses they already owned. My sisters thought it was hilarious. My best friend Mia said, "This is the most legendary petty move I've ever seen." The weeks leading up to the wedding were tense. Samantha kept posting photos of her red dress. It was this bright fire engine red gown, very expensive looking, very attention grabbing. She was so proud of herself. Wedding day finally arrived. I was nervous but excited. The ceremony was beautiful. During the reception, Samantha walked in wearing that red dress with the biggest smirk on her face. She was ready for her moment. Then she looked around, and I watched her face change. Red everywhere. My bridesmaids walked past her in burgundy. My friends were scattered throughout the room in different shades of red. My sisters stood near the bar in matching scarlet dresses. Even some of the guys wore red ties or red pocket squares to match their dates. 17 women total, plus their partners. The room looked stunning. People kept coming up to me saying how gorgeous and bold the red theme was, how coordinated everything looked, how elegant. Samantha stood frozen in the entrance. Her smirk was completely gone. She looked around like she couldn't believe what she was seeing. She tried to blend in, but everyone knew she'd been bragging about being the only one in red. She looked like just another guest. Nothing special, nothing scandalous. Just another woman in a red dress. She stayed through the ceremony, but left during cocktail hour. Didn't say goodbye, just disappeared. The next morning, I woke up to an email from my aunt, Samantha's mom. She called me a spiteful, manipulative person, that I stole Samantha's man years ago, and now I humiliated her at my own wedding, that I should be ashamed. I wrote back and said she tried to ruin my wedding, and I simply made sure she couldn't, that I wasn't going to let her turn my special day into a spectacle. My aunt hasn't responded. Some family members have taken Samantha's side, but most of them think the whole thing is ridiculous. My mom admitted the red theme looked beautiful in the photos. Noah thinks it's the funniest thing that's ever happened. My friends still talk about it, and honestly, I have zero regrets. My wedding was perfect.